There were a ton of mixed reactions when seeing this clip, from "it's a big club and you ain't in it" to "this is why you shouldn't fight with friends and family over politics." But for the sake of today's rant, I'm going to focus on the latter. Now, to get me started on this rant, let me bring in a little context to bring you up to speed on my view. In my view, Donald Trump ushered in the end of civility politics, both for better and for worse. For better, as elected leaders no longer needed to be buttoned up, polished, and perfect in order to be acceptable. And with some of the standards being lowered, people weren't forced out of political life or gatekept from entering for not reaching that bar of perfect. This is a good thing, as it meant we are slowly starting to have fewer and fewer useless political scandals, like wearing a tan suit. Oh yeah, don't think I forgot about that. And don't get me wrong, there are still plenty of freakouts to go around, but they don't last as long as they used to, and they really don't hold the same kind of weight. And again, this idea can be both good and bad, but we'll pin that for another discussion. Now to the for worse end of it. You see, Trump killing civility politics ushered in a political era that is far more divisive and emotionally charged, in some part due to his rhetoric and others due to his WWE style of politics. And while there are both benefits and drawbacks to that, I think the greatest drawback is it raised the temperature on how we feel about politics to a degree that we have never seen before. This is in part due to his use of social media, his relationships with the media, the maturity of the internet, and social media platforms in general. Follow me here. Now people aren't just turning on cable news, getting upset and voting. They're turning on cable news, watching podcasts on YouTube, getting upset on TikTok, fighting with people on X, and then voting. You see, everything had always been political before, but never on this level. Because never before had we had a media personality play the media game of politics and fundamentally transform everything about it. And he played it to a degree where some people love him and some people hate him. And in my view, until recently, you were either in one of two camps. But I think at this point, the damage is already done. People's feelings have been amplified due to the political climate and their social media diets. And this ultimately creates the us versus them mentality. And what happens when the them becomes your friend and family? You cut them right off. So let's bring the original clip back full circle, because what we are watching here is people in the political arena who helped to create the narratives that divide us and cause us to hate each other, hanging out, being cordial, and acting like everything is fine. And believe that for them, it is. It's crazy too, because some of us cut off friends and families because of the cultures created around political leaders like them. And they themselves don't have the same energy towards each other that we have for some people that we disagree with. And as upset or confused as some of y'all might be seeing this clip, I just want to remind you, this is how things always were before the Trump era. There was always a peaceful transition of power. There were always handshakes at debates and concession speeches after losses, no matter how brutal and personal the campaigns got. I think everyone forgot because we just have short memories, like we all do. Everyone's thinking back to 2020, where there was no concession speech. There was a riot on January 6th. And to this day, some people still believe that the election was stolen. But I'll be honest, in 2024, I feel like everyone's just kind of tired of that. Or at least I'll speak for myself. I'm tired of the nonstop fighting and anger and rage baiting content that I see on the internet every single day surrounded around politics. So in a lot of ways, I'm not here to rehash what happened over the past 4 years. I'm actually arguing for us to kind of go back to that pre-Trump era, or at least bring some elements of it back to the forefront. Some of you might call it fake, and to an extent, it is. But I think there's more to it than that. In some ways, it also represents some of the ideals I think that we should strive for in this country. We don't have to agree on everything. And in fact, we should fight like hell when we don't. But when the fight's over, we should shake hands, congratulate the winner, and go back to our corner and prepare for the next fight. That, in a lot of ways, is what you see here with Trump and Obama. People forgot that at one point, Trump called Obama the creator of ISIS. And Obama has not had any nice things to say about Trump during the past campaign or anything in the past, especially when he was the president and Trump tried to say he wasn't born in this country. And even after all that, they're still able to sit down and have a cordial conversation. And in some ways, it looks like they're even having a good time and enjoying each other's company.
Off the top, you mentioned the Carter funeral today. What were you talking to Barack Obama about?
It did look very friendly, I must say.
I thought you guys hated each other.
I didn't realize it, how friendly it looked. I saw it on your wonderful network just a little while ago before I came in, and I said, boy, they look like two people that like each other, and we probably do. We have little different philosophies, right? But we probably do.
And though it is a small clip and we don't have the context to understand whether or not they chat outside of this or not, I think it's still a shining example of the ideal. At the end of the day, we're all Americans who live in this country. We don't have to like each other or agree with each other on everything, but we do have to live with each other. And so I think we could try to make it work sometimes. And while I understand that there are some lines that, if crossed, do warrant a dismissal, I'm saying we should try to reevaluate some of the lines that we currently have and ensure that we aren't dropping each other for the lowest offenses on our personal lists. I like to think that maybe if we're a little bit more tolerant of each other and we try to understand each other and give each other a little bit more grace, then perhaps we can improve our political climate just a little bit. Or maybe understanding each other more leads to more hate and fighting online. We'll see, but I think it's worth a try. So let's give it a go, I guess. Anyways, that's my perspective. What's yours? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe, as I got much more content like this on the way. So until next time, YouTube. Peace.